on the couch. Always a pleasure to have them as our guests. They've been wonderful supporters of the show and all of the initiatives that we take on. Doyle and Salewski, Paul Salewski, Brian Doyle joining us. Great to have you gentlemen here.
Thank you.
We are going to get to the borrowing. I want to get to the topic we're going to discuss in a second. But we were just talking about shopping and Christmas spending and the debt. And you were just saying right now, the government's coming out with some interesting statistics too in terms of anticipation of spending.
I mean, we've got record levels of debt, so where is the money going to come from to fuel this Christmas spending? Certainly there's a lot of people out there with money, but we're borrowing more than we ever have before. So there is limits to how much we can borrow as a nation and as consumers. So is it there this year? Or is it going to be there next year? And we're watching for it, yeah.
Polls were done this year that said that people had planned to spend as much, if not more, than last year. So who knows? And as Brian said, where's the money coming from?
And essentially, it seems that they're borrowing more and more. And so that brings us to the topic right now. Where are your suggestions in going to this and seeing that people have the tendency to borrow to be able to pay back some of the borrowing? That's what we're seeing a lot of.
Well, today's topic is not to borrow to pay back old debt necessarily, but to deal with your whole debt. Sometimes debt settlement companies and others will come to a person who's in debt and say, okay, we can fix this card and this card, but they'll leave 3 other credit cards out there, each accumulating 21% interest, and whereby they're fixing a small part of the problem. Another part of the problem is getting a lot worse. So, you know, we as proposal trustees have a solution to fix it all at once, forever, debt-free, and not piecemeal. Piecemeal is dangerous and just kicks the can down the road.
You were saying too, I think when we were talking before, you seem to think that you're getting into this great discounted almost interest rate, and then that lasts for maybe 2-3 months, and then next thing you know, it's skyrocketed.
Exactly. What happens with a lot of credit cards, transfer your credit cards from here to here, we'll give you a 6% rate or a 2% rate or whatever it happens to be, but it's a 3-month, 6-month thing, then you're back to the 20% again. Yeah. A lot of people also go out and will consolidate their loans, which is fine if you can do it. The idea is bringing your debt down from one level to a lower level. But really what you're doing is just rearranging your funds from one pot to another. The real deal is dealing with the debt, getting a solution to it, and paying it off. Moving it around doesn't change your situation.
Do you find that most people walk in thinking that they're doing that, though, and really it's a tough realization when it's been a circle, a roundabout circle? And
then, of course, they say, well, I have a great credit rating. Okay. But the house of cards is about to collapse, and they've run out of room, and they think they can get a consolidation loan. They start the trek from bank to bank to bank, and they find out that they cannot get what they thought they would be eligible for, and they hit a crisis.
I also think a lot of people out there don't understand the cost of their debt. You know, someone will come in and say, well, geez, I've got $50,000 of credit card debt. Well, at 20%, that's $10,000 a year. Yep. You say, well, you make payments? Yeah, I pay about $500 a month. Well, interest is $750. You can't do it. It's just a reverse spiral. It's going down.
Will you get the calls in now in terms of people understanding? It's a scary time of year for a lot of people to be entering, as we mentioned, with the spending, and the credit cards are going to be a scary thing to open come January.
That's right, and it's important to get a grasp on all of your debt, not just part of it, and not to deny some of it. I mean, we have people walking in, we say, okay, what are your liabilities? They won't put the car loan in, they won't consider a house mortgage as debt, but when you look at it all, it can be huge. And then when we add up their income, look at their family expenses, and there's just no room to pay off even the monthly interest. So then they're in trouble.
Yeah, what they do is the last thing they don't pay is the thing that no one makes you pay except that little minimum payment sometimes.
Lots of great information. Always a pleasure when you guys are on. We'll see you two again for Ask the Experts. But the best thing to do is to contact them. I think once people make that call, they head onto the website and they see that they can get the information. It's a great time to be able to start the ball rolling there. DoyleGroup.ca is the website you want to be checking out, DoyleGroup.ca. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. And thank you. I know we'll probably be seeing you on Thursday, our big food drive. You guys have always been a huge supporter of that.